వీడియో రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది అది కొంచెం.
Okay, guys, we'll start room 1. Okay. Transform. Okay. So I will create 4 IDs. So div1, div2. So here transform importance in order to transform x-axis, y-axis, in order to scale it, in order to skew it cross in z direction. That will be skew x, skew y, skew z, and also rotate. So like x-axis, y-axis in the form of degrees. That will be 90 degrees, 0 degrees, 100 degrees, 360 degrees. Right? Rotate 3D also. 3 dimension we have x, y, z dimensions. Right? And also x, y dimension with x, y, z coordinates. And how much the distance we can do that. So using the transform. So I will write CSS in style tag now. Let's make it by default. For example, width of the division will be 100 pixel, all the divisions. So that we are taking width tag. For using div tag selector, 100 pixel. So that it will be square. So now I will give different colors for each of these. Since I already defined ID, I can give div1 as background color blue, hash div2 background color violet, div3 background color hash 071V. Right, 3 colors are already given. Let's see now. Transform. Div2 and div3. So I will give divisions for margin some 10 pixels so that we have some gap. 4 sides. Now I see the different squares now. So now in transform, we have the things like, for example, first one, transform, we have all this. First, I will do rotate. If I do rotate, it will do rotate for X and Y, both 60 degrees, sorry, 60 degrees, comma, 90 degrees. So 60 degrees, yeah, so it's rotated 60 degrees. If you want to rotate X, only X, that is capital X. So this is rotated like this. So in x-axis, so it is here. So now it is rotated like this. Now if I do rotate y-axis, it is rotated like this. So we have, but it is rotated. I think we have X and Y only, not Z. We don't have Z. Let's see. Okay. X, Y, Z means cross. So we have three dimension, right? So take this paint actually. Let's see. Paint. So we have x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So z-axis it's rotated now. That's why it's cross. So x, y, z-axis. So it's rotated. Now that is what rotation. So now we have skew. Skew, for example, if I do 60 degrees, means it's cross. It's only y z-axis related. So it's internal. So X and Y we can purely see that it's horizontal or vertical. Skew means cross, third angle. So we can skew only x-axis. Now let's see why. I think skew we don't have that. Let's see. Skew we don't have that. Only skew x and y we have. If it is skew, minus 30 degrees. If it is skew means it is taking both x and y by default. See, go to this definition. MDN reference. You know Mozilla. I already told you Mozilla reference. So if you don't want to know them, skew. By default, skew will take x and y axis. I just applied this. Now this rotate, I just rotated it 0.5 turn. Maybe we can use degrees also. So here we can see the live examples. Translation. So translate, we will go. So first we covered rotate, skew also. Now I will rotate this below one. So I will translate. Translate x, y, z axis or 3D. First I will translate. If I translate it, it will take x and y axis. Means I want to give two values. It's not like shorthand operator. If I do padding 10 pixel, it will take all the sides, but it's not here. So I want to give both the values. 100 pixel, 200 pixel, x and y axis. X 100 pixel, y 200 pixel. See, x 100 pixel, y 200 pixel. See, almost here it is 200 pixel. From here it is 100 pixel. Translate 3D. We have 3 dimensions. 100 pixel, 200 pixel, 400 pixel, 1. Let's see what is happening. Translate 3D will have x and y and z coordinates. Along with that, where is this? Translate 3D. We have only 3 values, x, y, and z, right? I given 4th value. So from x-axis and y-axis, z-axis, it will translate. So I will give 400 here. I will just give 200. Let's give 500. It might not change because we already given x-axis. Let's give 0. That might change. So based on the x coordinate and y coordinate and z coordinate, here z coordinate will not much affect if we are using x and y coordinate because object is like this. We are moving top and bottom only. At the time, z coordinate will not affect. If it is 3D, if it is almost 3D, sometimes we have 3D designs. I will show you one example. 3D view. So it's like you can see the some 2 or 3 sides. At the time, it will be useful. Like this, some of the things which is there, right? At the time, you can see the real 3D rotate 3D. So that is what advanced. So some 100% of the website, you don't have at least 10% like this 3D. We have one more d3.js, which is almost path graphs and all we can see. So this is also almost, if you want to do maps and all in Python, you already know matplotlib, again like NumPy, some libraries, right? In order to plot the graphs. So in HTML, you want to do that, you want to go with d3.js. This will be using more animations. Almost all 3D skew, scaling and all, it will be using so that using that we can apply these animations. Now I want to scale it. Let it be. So I want to scale it. Transform, scale. Scale x, y, z, whatever it may be. So take scale. If I want to take scale, I will take x and y. So 1.2, 1.5. If I give 1.2, 1.5 means it will be 120% and it is 130, 150%. X-axis is 120, y-axis is 150. See, x-axis is 120, y-axis is which is straight one, vertical, that is 150. So that will scale. So I want to scale whenever I hover on that. scale or transform scale 1.2, 1.5. Behaviors. I have behavior smooth. Let's see. So you see in LMS when you hover on the courses page, right? Not in LMS, in course dashboard, I think. In course dashboard, once you hover on that, it is scaling to 1.001. If I say it's 1.5, it's almost more than that. So now I do 1.01. So it will scale both sides only 1.01. It's only less. So and also I want to give box shadow when it's hover, right? I will get box shadow from CSS scan so that I can visible it properly. See, I can visible it properly so that here it is scaling so that almost all the website use scale because whenever you hover on that, it will just increase or decrease. It will be like moving. This moving behavior you can see with scaling only. So almost all the website will see. And also I want border radius whenever I hover on that 8 pixel. So it will be curved edges. See, it is like some beautiful like so that's how we can do scaling. We can do scale, not only scale, we can do scale X or scale Y also. If I do scale Y 1.5 also, like how we do yesterday in animation, so we can scale it. It's like somewhat not good by for looking, right? So it's not beauty. We can give only 1.1 or 1.01, that will be somewhat good. It's just somewhat, right? So that will be better. We'll do scale both sides so that it will not be like only one side. If you do both sides, that will be better. So using scale X, Y, Z, we can do all this. Translate X, Y, Z. Rotate. Rotate also we covered, right? Transform. Transform. Rotate. Yeah, by rotate Y 270 degrees. It is rotating, but at the time it's not visible actually. I will make rotation by default so that you can see it better. 90 degrees. Why it's not visible? What happened? Transform scale, rotate Y. That's to just rotate. Okay, rotate 170. 90 means we don't see because four sides are 90, right? That's why we can't see. I can give 270. 270 is also somewhat slight because 93 is a 27. Since it's a square, we cannot differentiate. I can give 210 so that you can see the difference. Now I can see the difference. Now I want an animation like I will create an animation. I want to create an animation. So go to paint. So there is a login page, right? This is a login page. This is a login container. I have login button here. I have input email and input password here. Now I want this login button. It should be rotated from top and need to be settled down there after 2 seconds when loading the page. So this is with the help of keyframes. We can do rotation with transform, or we can increase the decrease size, rotate Y, rotate X, Q, crossly, and scaling X, Y, Z axis using transform. Using transform, we can do that. But using keyframes, we can animate it from 0% to 100%. So I will tell you how we can apply now. So let's create a login page fastly. Mail ID, line break, label, password, type equal to password, placeholder, enter, password, line break, button, type equal to submit, login. We have this. So now I want to make it middle. What is the way? Can you tell me, anyone? I want to make it middle. Center the division because I want to center it, right? Anyway, I'll just create a class container login so that it will be better. Now we'll do that. Display flex or whatever, maybe we can do whatever we have. Display flex, justify content center, justify content horizontally, align items vertically. So this is container. We have this container login, right? This is same. Okay. Position absolute. Translate, we have translate. Translate, transform, sorry, transform, translate. Transform, translate, minus 50 degrees, comma, minus 50 degrees. Top 50%, left 50%. So we got it here. Now I want to make it border so that it will appear better. Border. I don't use a semicolon, so syntax will not able to identify it. Border. I will give as 2 pixels solid. As 0 on the, let it be whatever it may be color. So I want to give padding, otherwise it will be string. Padding, I will give 1 rem or 2 VH. So container login, right? So I need to give it with max content. So it will take all the content. Make it as fit content. Let's see. Fit content. Anything I given? No, right? That is fine. Password, fine. Need to make it as form. Submit. Some 20 VH. Make 20 rem. So height also I will give as some 20 rem. So make it okay. That's fine. So now I want this login button. Okay, I'll just make login button some margin top so that will be divided. Margin top some 10%. 10% means this container 10%. Because it will always take the parents element reference, right? Because that is position relative or position static. By default, position static or relative will get only the parents reference. Static will not apply Z index. So that for that we need to enable position relative. For that Z index overlapping will not be appear. So now this button I will by default I will put some background color hash 0071B color as white. So now this one I want to make some percentage width I want to increase so that it should be like it should be beautiful. Make it like that. Some width, right? Some 70% or 70 VH. 70 VW. Okay, it's viewport. We will make 70 percentage. If it is VW, it will take the whole viewport. You want to make parent container. Then go with percentage now. Fine, right? So now I will make 100%. So at least it will take this. So now you see this division is a part of this form. That's why it's not taking as 100%. Now calculate this. Mostly it will be like parent. So now it is 100% means it is double. Make 200% for that particular relative question. 200 is more, make 180%. Okay, let it be. So now I want to animate this button. So that will come from top. So I want to go with keyframes now, which is the next topic. Keyframes we have at the rate of keyframes. Merge keyframes also we have, I will tell you. Because for the different WebKit keyframes, for different browser compatibility, i.e. definitely we need to mention WebKit. For normal Google Chrome another, we have keyframes. By default, it will be acceptable. Merge keyframes. For Safari, another browsers, if you want to mention, we need to mention merge also. Okay. For different platforms, we need to give extra. For Google Chrome, it's fine. Just keyframes might work. Keyframes, my rotate. I'll just create something. Fine. So this rotate is nothing but a name which we can give for this button for animation. Animation name. My rotate. So normally we have separate animation name. Animation name we can directly give this my rotate. And we have give animation delay 2 seconds. And we have animation timing function. Is it infinite or something like that? So for all these, we have this shortcut. This my rotate like font and all we have, right? 2 seconds, infinite. So this we have. So this shorten. Now I will put at 0%. At 0%, I will open a block. At 0%, I want its background color, for example, green. So it should transform, rotate 90 degrees, make 170 degrees. Again, also I want to make it as margin top 0. So that you can see it will come from top. So it will be 0% margin top. Margin top 0%. Now again at 30%, I want the same, but same I will just copy paste it. Just right click on format document, you can see it better. No need of commas and all. At 30%, while rendering, right? At 30%, I want margin top. Make it as minus because it is in this current position. So if you want to move top right, you want to give minus like that because it is stable. We are not giving anything. If you want to make it from top to bottom, again we know go to minus and come back to 0. So here I will go to minus 40%. Again here I will get minus 30%, some kind of. Again here in 70%, I will give as minus 10%. In 100%, I will give as margin 0%. Now here background color I will change to as it is on the same. Now I will give here rotate every time 360 degrees. So I will remove here rotation because I don't want those many rotations. From starting it should rotate. After that at end it should rotate. In between it should be green only. Whenever it reaches to 100%, it should be the same background color. Now let's see. Make this and margin top minus. So for this, I want to put position as relative or absolute. Absolute because it will take previous element reference, you know. If I give relative means previous element is on top of that only. So it will not consider that. For that, you need to give position absolute. Then only it will go beyond its parent element. Then for that, we want to give absolute. For just animating purpose, I'm just showing you so that you can easily understand. Then only it will take the window viewport reference. Now it will take window viewport reference. Oh my God, 1 second. What is the tick, tick, tick? Width, just given this, right? Now width will also change because we make position absolute. That's why it will take the parents element reference. That will be division, right? The whole division that will take that particular width. That's why it's 180% is bigger. Now we will take only some 70% or something. It should not be that much bigger now. So like only 50%. So I given 2 seconds. I give 1 second only. It is now like this. It is spinning, right? So now I will not give infinite because if I give infinite, that will become video game. I just want to show the user. So button will rotate like this and it will sit only once on the page load. So I will give only 1 second. I will not give infinite, right? Only once it will be there. It will sit in the same position. Since I given margin top 0, it will take like this. So it will start from -40 to 0. So this is what keyframes. Now there will be a websites like if you hover on button, right, from bottom to one line will go. It's like border. It will start from bottom and it will surround it and it will join the four sides, right? Then it will scale up and get the box shadow so that you can see better results. That we do. That also we'll do with keyframes. Now once we hover on that, that should apply. Make that another keyframes. Keyframes identifier is a name, you know, in any programming language. Now apply shadow, make it as a name. So now at 0%, I want border bottom, linear gradient. Not only one color, linear gradient. Linear gradient borders. So take one linear gradient border. Let's generate it. You already see now. I just missed that. Like this. Just take some linear gradient border. Or we can generate it somewhere. Or you can copy paste on the, just change the syntax. Background linear gradient. No, I don't want this. Let's see here. Some beautiful I want. So this one is solely green. I want 2-3 colors. So you can put one side by side also. We'll just copy one and make it different. So this one, take an example, go to CSS. So you have 3 colors here, right? 1, 2, 3. Means in linear gradient, we have this border image. Okay, make this. Now border bottom. So I'll make as linear gradient. Let's check whether it is working or not. border bottom. Otherwise, we need to go there. So set it to division 1. Let's see whether it is working or not. Okay, division 1 is not there, right? I will write division 1 and let's check that whether it is working or not. Then we'll see. ID equal to div1. It's not applied. Div1 only, right? Div1 border. Let's see border. Remove one. No, that is not working. We'll see another one. Linear. Get here. So this one, let's see, it's good. Background. Click. Display flex. Border. This is the variable they created. Border diagrams. Background linear gradient. Two red, orange. Okay, let it be. Let try to use it and let's see. It's not applied. We'll attach to container. Let's see. We have this container, right? Yeah, it's applied. Okay. So to bottom, red, to right. So we have only one, right? So we will apply two. So RGBA is one. Again, we apply one more, which is 255. Two bottom, two left. It's not applied. Red. Let's do this. Turn on B. So these two we applied, right? Okay. So these two are applied. I want linear gradient. Here we have just format document. This we have, right? So let's see. We have border bottom. Just apply this. Let's see it will applying or not. It is not applying. We want two left. Two right. Yeah. So now I will apply shadow, right? So border bottom linear gradient. So we'll apply this border image. Whenever I hover on that, I should apply this. Again, remove all this. Okay, let it be. In 30%, I want margin left some 2 pixel solid red. In 70%, I want margin left, again margin top 2 pixel solid red. Okay, it's covered now. So again, at 100%, I want margin left, top, and right also. In 0%, I want margin bottom 2 pixels solid red. So now I got this. These colors we can do linear gradient also. We'll just select 2 linear gradients colors. RGB. 1 second. We'll select 2 colors so that we can see that now. I want this color, for example. Okay. So we'll select some 2 decent colors. So that might solve our issue. So instead of red, we'll set linear gradient. So I will select 3 colors. Go to CSS color picker and select 3 decent colors. I want this color firstly. So now I have RGB. I will take this RGB and just pick up here. Again, I will go to this pink. I will select RGB. Again, RGB. I want to put RGB. Otherwise, it will not take, right? Again, I will put RGB. I will select this. Again, I want to put third color also, which will be almost red. So now again, I will put RGB inside this. Same color I want to use anyway. So I will use the same in all the margins because I want to cover it. Since at 0%, it starts with margin bottom. At 30%, it should have margin bottom along with that left. So you need to copy the margin bottom here also. Now it started like this and it will go like this. Again, in 70%, you want these 3 you want. Margin bottom, margin left, and margin top also. So you copy paste the same linear gradient so that same will be applied for both, right? Both. Here you want 4. Just copy paste first linear gradient. Yes. So now bottom is missing, right? I will just put bottom also. After getting all this, now button should look like flash. So it should come like this. So for that, we will use scaling. Transform, scale 1.2. And I want box shadow so that will be very beautiful, right? So we have already used box shadow. Anyway, it will suggest get CSS scan only first, even though if you're wrong. So it will it's intelligent will works. So I want this palette so that it will be very good. Alt tab. So I'll just copy paste it. Now I want to apply this keyframe. So whenever button is over, animation, right? You want to apply keyframe, then you want to give animation. Animation name, how many seconds it should last. So it should last at least 3 seconds. I want so that you can see this line coming like this. Infinite, because whenever you hover it, it should go infinite. I want like that. Or let it be one time. It's applied. Box shadow is working fine or what? Scaling is working fine. Margins also not sure whether it is working. Let's see again. I can't differentiate that with the help of linear gradient. Let's see here. Sorry. 255. If it is red, then I can see more differences. $255. Margin bottom left. Let's see. 0. Let's only 1 second. Let's apply for only 1 second. Let's add red because linear gradient I cannot see it. Maybe that is because of some other issue. Let's add only one color, then we'll move for another colors. 2 pixel solid red. Is that because of double semicolon? Here we have double semicolons. Anyway, so let's put red. It will work now. Red. Okay. Right. Let's do only margin. Okay. You're applying margin. Nobody observed, right? Let's go back. Nobody observed now. We're applying margin instead of border. So we're just checking, but we need to apply border. Nobody noticed that. Okay, let's apply border quickly. Why it's not applying? Because of that. Very bad. Border bottom. Very bad. Very bad. Here we apply just to only border, so it will take all sides. Now it should definitely apply. Is it not applied? Let's remove double semicolon if it is there. Okay, let's give only red. Maybe this linear gradient might have some problem with syntax, maybe. Yes. For keyframes, you want to write this much of code if you want to get more functionality. But once you habituate with that, you can play around with that. Only thing is starting trouble. Once you started right, so that will be applied perfectly. Yeah. I will make a background color also transparent or remove that and make color as like red so that I can see it better visibility. Like how I do. So I did only once, not infinite, right? So that's why it will stop. So that is what about keyframes. You want to practice it a lot. Yeah, this is 100%. Yeah. Box shadow is also applying now. You can see Sum of the box shadow. If you want to make it more for more visibility, use this. That will be better. Applied that. So that is what all about keyframes. Any doubts here? You just need to practice it. We'll go with grid. Grid auto. So float left like that. You will automatically align the grid structure in the division. So we'll make another HTML file. It might be completed in less than 10 minutes also. So grid.html. So I want to create 4. Here we have a container plus grid container. We have some 10 divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want to separate it. So definitely I want to use some height and width and background color so that I can see it as a differently. First, let's see. So div space div, because I don't want to give this. I need to give only for this size and width. Make it as margin 10 pixel all sides and background color be all sides, color white, and also border black, 2 pixel solid black. Grid.html. Now see, it's normal one. I want to make it as grid structure. So now, okay, I will give padding so that that will become some padding for all the sides. Some 10% as padding. Not okay, 110, not 110. Oh, it's very big. Let's make only 1%. Okay, now it's fine. So I want to make align it grid. So I want to make the parent container, which is grid container, as display grid, like display flex. Display grid. For that, I want first one grid row. So let's see, we have the property grid template columns, grid template rows, grid template columns. I want how many columns? I want 4, for example. I can give column automatically size, or you can give auto. If you give auto, automatically whatever the content it is having, that much content with based on the width, it will automatically take. If you want to mention the size also of the particular column width, I can give. For example, 150 pixel for the first one. Second one will be auto. Third one will be auto. Fourth one will be 400 pixel. Now how it will take? First column it will take 150. Fourth column it will take 400. Among the available screen size, it will minus these two and adjust for the automatic ones. Got it, right? So it is having 400. It is having 100. So remaining will be, given to these two. So now I will give 500. So now you can see the difference if it is having any. If it is 500, it is 100. So remaining one is given to this. It is automatically given align the columns. Got it, right? The same way, if you give a row, right, it will get the width height actually. Row is height of that particular row, column is width. So now I can align row also the same way. For example, first row I want 150 pixel as height, second row I want 200 pixel as height. Third row I don't mention anything, it will take default one only. Now let's see. Okay, template rows. So it will take like that. So grid column rows, grid template columns and grid template rows will work like this. Grid template area, it will be call span and row span. So now make it. So this is container, right? Grid template areas. I think area. So for example, I will create an area. So I will create for only this one. Take an example class div1. So I need to give for only div1. I think grid area I need to give as a name. Grid area, some my area. So that I need to put here. Let's check this. Second, it might be different. Let's see syntax. Yeah, same. Whatever we're doing, right? Template area, grid area. That is correct. Grid area, you need to give that area. Areas or area no. Same. So this might work like this. Let's see. Where is this? This one it should take. Okay. I think I'm giving here only, right? Grid area. Let's see. My area. For div1 I'm giving class. And here it is my area. It should take that, but let's see the real example which is working example. So it is taking 2. So this is the same which we written also. Let's see. Read template area. Okay. So we want to make 2 right. So we want write 2 times. So then only it will apply. Right. I want to write it in 2 times. So then only I will apply. It will apply. It will take the call span now. So one is taking as call span. So others see now, others are adjusted automatically. So now I want to take row span also. Go to next line and give like this. It might take this also. Because I tried this long back. Now let's try now also. So now it is taking 4. 2 row, 2 column and 2 row. It might work. Yeah. So 2 column and 2 row, everything is auto adjusted. So this is so sometimes this might be based on requirement only. In company, you want to make it as like this sometimes, right? So then only it might require. But you just need to know that is the property. Grid auto columns and auto rows will also be sizes of that. Let's see that. Grid auto rows. Some 150. Grid auto columns. Let's give 200. Let's remove this. It will disturb that. So auto columns. Columns are 150. Rows are 200. So otherwise, because of this, it will collide actually. So its width and height will be almost, disturbed with this. Otherwise, we need to comment it out or we need to comment it out. Anything we can do that. Row start, column start, row end, column end. So it will be, yeah. So I will tell you. Let it be. So okay. Starting point of that. Grid column start. From which column it need to start? First column or second column? We need to mention. If I put second column, number 2 will come first. Column start. Let's put 3. Let's put row start. Not applied. column start, row start. And 2 by span. Let's see. It's not working. Let's see grid row start. These are confusing actually. Let's see. Okay. So I need to apply it separately. So this one, grid row start and column start need to apply for the elements actually, not for the grid container. So that then only it will apply. For example, we have div one, right? So I want to apply for div one. I can apply. So whether it starts from first row or the second row, then only it will apply. I want to apply second row. So then it will starts with second row. Otherwise, see, it starts with second row. Now I want to make it as column start 2. So then it starts with column 2. Then the whole division will be disturbed. So that is what grid row start, call start. The same, you need to mention 2 or 3 or 4. If I give 4 also, what is the fourth column? This one, right? Might be it will start from here. Row start also same. If I want to give second row, it will start with second row, like previous. Row start. So that we need to apply for each and every element. Here it is 1. So grid based on practice, otherwise you might confuse. Just column start and row start will be applied for the single elements. Group elements means for grid container, we can apply auto row columns, template columns. This is the base one. Template columns and rows will decide how many things are need to apply. If we give 3, it will get only 3. Fourth one will be omitted. If you give auto, size will be automatically adjusted based on the content. Right? And if you give rows, how many rows? Means for those particular rows, what is the size of that? It will automatically. If you give auto, it will automatically adjust it. Rows also. Like that. Grid column, grid area. Gap will be combined of row gap and column gap. Row gap and column gap will be separate. So I will give row gap, for example. Row gap 100 pixel, column gap 100 pixel. It will be applied both. Otherwise, you can combinedly give as shorthand operator, right? You can combinedly give as gap. It will also consider. It will be same also. Now we have another property, grid row and grid column. Let's see this. Yeah, so it will be with respect to the percentages. So I can give like 1 by 50% like this. So it will be like how much the percentages it will take from which is first row or second row or third row. Let's see here. No. This check once, grid row. Yeah, that is correct. But it should be only for item only. Grid row 1 by span 2. That's for row span. We just applied here. For 2, I want to apply 2, or for 1 and 2. Let's see. This is the specificity of the which current row. We want to span to 1 or 2. So I want to span 2. So then it will apply for the 1, 2 rows. The same way I think column will also work. So the same way I can apply for column for spanning. For column 2 to span 2. For the second one, I applied for that. It's span because since it's second one, it is spanning for 2. If I get span for 1, it is normal only. So it is like that. If I give 1, It will be only one. It's like a row span and column span for grid actually. Since if you are using tables, if we can apply row span and column span. But if you are using grid means for that we have this call grid column and grid row for spanning, so that you can remember it. With that we can complete the grid. So these are the main important. Anyway, among these at least four, these two you can remember, right? For spanning, these two you can remember. Gap anyway, you know, just gap, call gap or row gap you can remember easily. Template area also you can remember because that is also one of the kind of spanning. You can do that. This and all you may omit because you don't remember those much in your mind. Main thing is display flex, sorry, display grid, auto template columns, template area, grid row, grid column for spanning, and also gap. So this you can remember. If you want to apply, you can apply it simply. And in previous exam, I given right one form, first name, last name from date of birth. We have some side by side, right? For that, you can put in three divisions. Here you can apply the same display grid, grid template columns, auto. It will automatically align. And you can center the whole division using position absolute translate transform -50 degrees, or justify content center, display flex, align item center. You can apply like that. Now this is the flex layout. We already completed flex layout, but we'll just make it up for some of the reason. Flex dot HTML. One, two, three, four, five. So I want to give all as the same size. So that will be all the children of the division. So width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel, it will be a box. Background color hash 007 1D. Yeah, so we didn't apply flexbox till now. Now we'll make flexbox for the parent container, which is division, right? For that, we need to give class. Otherwise, all divisions will become flexboxes. If I apply tag selector, right? You know that. So flex container. Container display flex. Display flex. So I want to make it as flex direction row or column. So make it as flex direction row. Make row. So it will be in the same row. So make it is border gap. So we have flex here. Row gap, column gap. Row gap. Anyway, row gap. We have only one row. No need of row gap. We have column gap. Give as one rem. Relate to the previous elements. So now let's see. So now I want to make it align center. These are like, you know, right? In flex, you know, you have 3-4 elements. If you make justify content, start, justify content, end, row, reverse. So you have this justify content. Make it as start, right? It will be starting. If you make it as end, it will be at the end. Justify content will work in main axis. Since it's a row, main axis will be x axis. If it is column, main axis will be y axis. So now justify content end. Justify content space around. All sides is having spacing both sides. Justify content space between. Space between. So between spaces, starting point and ending point will be closer to the viewport margin with the zero. And you have one more thing. Space evenly also. Even spaces. All the see every space is same width. So that space is evenly. Now see here you have this right 1, 2, 3. That will be align self. I think align self. Let's see. Align align content or justify self. Something is there. Align content center. We have one more thing. Align self center. Align items is now it is horizontal and vertical. Vertical you want to center. You want to make align items. Row gap, X direction row. I want to make it center, so otherwise it will not apply. Align item center. Align content center. So what I want now is this one. This 1, 2, 3 are there, right? On top actually. I want to make it center. For that also we have. So make it parent division. So these are right. Align items center. I think align content. One of these properties might work for that. Or align self center. Here also we need to make display flex. Let's see. So we want to make justify content center. So now it is also a center. So for justify content and align items is enough. These two are not enough. Means those two are not required. So this is how we can also make the centered element for each and every element, since we make it as all the child elements as center. Make color as white so that will be visible. Font size 30 pixel. Font weight bolder. So now we have one more property, flex actually. Flex. This flex will take care of flex basis, flex shrink and flex grow. So first one is flex grow. It should be grown 1 or 1.5. It should be shrink 1 or 1.5. It should, what is the size of that? 200 pixel. So this is basis, which is shorthand operator. This is grow and this is shrink. So that there is no much uses of that because we mostly use center and use flex box, but that is a property. If we want to use, we can use it. Want to string 0. So make it as not important. If something is overwritten, it will be applied. It will not apply. S3. Yeah. So we can make it as 2. We can make it as 1. So that might apply if you apply those. 400. Let's try here. So you need to apply this for single element, not the whole container, because container will not shrink. So you need to apply for the flex element. So this we will call as item, for example, ITM item. For each item you can apply. Since I am using as child, right? Child selector division, it will apply for all the divisions. I don't want to use items. Now this flex, right? It will grow, shrink. If I want to shrink, right, 0.5, maybe it will also shrink. If I want to grow by 3, it will also grow. Now I make it as width 400, so it's almost fixed width. It's let's make one. This is creating a problem. Let's row string basis. This is the last property. This is the last one. We don't have here. Text string. We need to give for every separate element flex string, flex basis, and flex grow. Let's give. So, for example, I want to give for only nth child, or make it as nth child of 3n, means every third element, or nth element, or first element. I will apply for this. Only this one is applied with that flex property. Otherwise, it will not apply. All others are not applied. So if I give 3n, this was applied, and everyone width is almost some 0 or something, which is occupied by 1 or 2 as it is, whatever it is written. Now I given third element 3n. Now I given to 3n plus 1, means every third element will be given if I give 3n plus 1. If I give odd, let's see, every odd element will be provided. If I give even, for every odd element, for every even element, it will be provided. So flex, grow, shrink, and basis property, it will work on the single element. And flex justify content, this centering and flex start, flex and center, space between, evenly stretch, all will work for the whole container. And you want to make that container flexbox or grid, you want to make display flex. If you put display none, it will not be visible anyway. So display none means it will be removed from the DOM. In responsive design, in media queries, you can make display none, which is not required. So and make visible, which is required. If you put visibility hidden, it will occupy the space and it will not be rendered on the browser. So that is the difference. Display, and we have display inline block. So if you want to make a block in the same line, so we make inline block. If you make display block, even the span elements will come to the next line. Span or something which is a inline, right? If you make display block, it will go to the next line. So using that display, you can do all this. Actually, maybe this mode, this and all will be advanced with respect to the browser compatibility and all. Is it fine, right? We just try to practice it. Tomorrow I will conduct exam. I will give any web page. So that will be Flipkart or Amazon page or any page, whatever you like, I will give. So that you try to do in your exam. Just try to analyze it. For example, how to analyze, I will tell you at last. Now let's see, this is a bar which is having one paragraph. Float left, float right. Float left, float right. Float right is a just a drop down, select option. After that, we have a division. Inside the division, we have left pane and right pane. So left division, float left, right division, float right. If you want to use grid, that is also fine. Grid for one item, you give some 30% width. Another item too, you give 70% width. Inside this, we have unordered list or list, which list type tile none. In that unordered list, you make 3 check boxes. If you check it, it will apply, right? That's why. So this is unordered list, but make it as list style type none. So bullet points will not come. Again, here we have category. This is also some data list. Make data list. Again, we have review. Make it also data list. Data list, we have H3 tag or H4 tag. Before that, we have data list. Inside data list, we have stars. After pseudo class, after double colon after, we put and after. So after, how you use after, I will just tell you in JS Fiddle. So take this example. We have a division, right? Division class equal to div1. So for div1, after I will give content up. You got it right. You will get like this. So after every division, you may use that. We have 4 divisions with same class. For 3 divisions, you'll get that. The same way you can give and up also. For brands also, it's a you can give an order list and get this list type none and make all the check boxes. For price also, data list you can give. You have min max, which is input type number, and go as a button. Again, an order list you can give like this. So you no need to do all the page. You just do whatever it is visible. This much is enough. And again, you take divisions. Display flex. Inside this container will be flex box. Inside this container, you can have n number of mobile phones or something, which will be divisions again. That every division justify content column, not row. Justify content column, and that width will be 100%. Why 100%? Because the parent division is 100%, right? That will be 70% of the current width. This is 30%, means this whole is 70%. Inside that we have child children. So the child will take the position related, means parent width, means this 100% division. So you have image and paragraph. For example, you have image and division. Make image float left. It will come left. We already seen. Again, we have H3 tag. Again, we have star. Again, we have price. Again, we have some paragraph. So like that, we just align. Once you hover on this, make it as scale 1.2, box shadow something. Once we click on it, it is not required because it comes with bootstrap. That will become difficult for you. So if I click on it, since you are opening this, right? So if you click on it, make anchor tag for this, it will actually result to the same Amazon page. Make the same link and put it here in anchor tag for this, so that you can easily see, okay, it's a real good thing. And here we have home bar, right? Here you make anchor tags. Anchor tags, text decoration, none. Otherwise it will become underline. Now make display grid. Make display grid columns auto, whatever the columns you want, those many you put side by side, it will come. Otherwise, you can make all float left. So everything will come left. And this will, and here also you can give like first logo. After that, this all you can give division, float left, or grid columns also. How much content it will take, that much it will take, and it will come side by side. For this, you just give same background color, right click on that, inspect it, select here and check the whole content. So you have all these properties here, right? So if you want to select the background color of that, you might get here by just checking this. Otherwise, this color also you can apply because it's color. Again, this you check what it is applied. You can also see, and you can see background color. So if you are not able to find that, right, now take screenshot. This is the last option. Take screenshot. I don't know whether it takes screenshot. So go to paint. Means that is the last option for everyone. So now CSS color picker from images. We have that website, image color picker. Now upload your image, use your image. So for example, I want to use some image, right? Okay, so I will select here. It will generate the color palette. See, this is the color palette. It will give that selected one. If I select here, it will give the selected color palette. So now you try to use that in background color or color, whatever it may be. So you can use all the colors like that. That is the last option. If you inspect that, if you can find it, fine. Otherwise, it might be there in some variables. If don't find that, that is the last option. So do the same colors and try to do this one also. Inspect it. Check this. You can see these colors. If you can't able to see, if you select that, inline styles almost they will not apply because that is not standard. Code will be messy. Now you just check like this. Color is this. Background color. You might see background color. You can do Control F also here and say background. If you don't see background, leave it and make it like that. Background color. So maybe you can get from these styles, right? You can just check which color is for what. So element will also change. So this inner circle background color. If you go to top, this is the circle background color. If you go to top, it will select automatically. So like that you can search it also. Yeah. So that is what for today.